Hi friends, I'm Ruth with Core Star Pilates. Today's exercise I'm going to teach you is a side bend. Now they're like all of the other Pilates exercises mostly that we've worked on in recent weeks. There's variations to this. There's kind of different levels that you can progress through. And the first side bend is similar to one we did in the first week, which was the mermaid. So that exercise can be done sitting in this position, just lifting and side bending over. So as I'm here, I've got a very light touch with my fingers and I'm focused on the obliques. The side bending is a lateral flexion exercise, and this is what lateral flexion is. We're just bending side to side. And this would be really easy to make this a stretch. Okay, so I'm not engaging my core and I'm just kind of going side to side. But what I want you to think of is this length through your spine. All of Pilates is based on spinal movement and connection with the core. So I want you to think of creating a lot of length through your spine. And as I'm sitting in this mermaid position with one leg tucked in front and this leg kind of tucked behind me, this hip is more unweighted than this hip. So it allows me to lengthen. This side is going to shorten a bit as I lengthen through this side. And as I side bend over, I can feel those obliques working to keep my body in this lengthened position. So there's a nice side bend here. The side bend that we would do to start this exercise would be from a kneeling position. And I'm going to come here with the bottom leg is bent in front of me here, and the top leg is upright this way. And I'm going to take this top foot and I'm going to tuck it in front of the ankle of my bottom foot. And it depends on the length of your legs. Mine are a little bit long, so I can't be here with those knees closed because as you lift up, you have nowhere to go. So I would advise kind of moving that hip out away from, or the knee away from your hip. So you've got a little bit of length through this area here. And we're going to bring the arm out in front of our shoulder. So it's not directly underneath, it's out a little bit of an angle here. And most important, that we're not sinking into the shoulder. We're going to lift up out of the shoulder and feel those obliques working here. So we're engaging before we even lift up. And as we lift, we're going to put a little pressure, squeezing the ankles together. We're going to press into the knee. We're going to press into that hand, and we're going to use those side bodies and the core to lift us up. So sitting nice and tall, engaging the abdominal, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to inhale as we lift the hips up and press into that knee, side bending over. And then controlling it as we come down. That movement coming out of it is as important as moving into it because we've got the core engaged the whole time. So engaging the core, kind of lifting that pelvic floor, drawing those lower abdominals in, sliding the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to inhale as we lift up and exhale, controlling it as we come down. Let's try a few of those. So we're pressing into that knee. We're using our glutes to kind of press those hips forward and releasing down. So with socks on, my feet tend to slide a little bit. And I'm going to move this softer mat out of the way. So I'm using my yoga mat underneath me because it's more of a sticky mat and it allows me a little bit better traction for the full side bending exercise. This is a full body movement. We're going to engage the core, we're stabilizing with the shoulders, we're using the legs, and we're using the glutes. So as we get up there, the whole body's going to be engaged. We're going to start in the same position that we did with the knee, with this top foot is crossed in front of the bottom foot. The ankles are touching. We're going to lift up, out, lifting the core, lengthening the body right up through the crown of the head. We're going to inhale as we press into the feet and the hands. And as we lift, we're going to squeeze those inner thighs together, coming into a full body side bend. Now controlling it as we come back down. Inhale as you lift. The key to this is to squeeze those legs and tighten the glutes. And it helps a lot to have bare feet and some traction underneath you. You don't want to do this on a wood floor with socks where you might slip. You want your feet and your hand to be firmly anchored. Yes, nice job. Let's try that on the other side. So we're just going to switch. The opposite foot is on top now. We're lifting and lengthening through the spine. The shoulders are away from the ears. We're going to start at the knee, and we're just going to lift, coming up and over. and releasing down. Try it again. So you can stay with this variation as long as you need to. It's a great variation. It's still working all the same muscles in the same way. The full, I like to move my legs a little further out because my legs are a little bit longer, keeping that length through the spine, shoulders down. As you press into the feet, you're engaging those glutes and firing those inner thighs, bringing the legs together. Inhale as you lift up, full body. Exhale, releasing down. So that's the full side bend. I want to show you one more. This is a little bit more advanced variation. So once you get the full side bend down, you could try this, adding some flexion and some extension, but it requires a lot of focus in your core. You're going to draw in through the side bodies here. So it starts the same way. We're going to inhale as we come up. Find that stability. Raise that top arm to the ceiling. Now what we're going to do is pike at the hips. Pull your abdominals in, flexing the spine, sweeping the arm underneath. Inhale as we open up the heart, extending the thoracic spine, coming back to this long line, and then releasing down. Let's try that full one again. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale, pulling the abdominals in and flexing. Inhale, opening the heart. Exhaling overhead and releasing down. One more time. Inhale. This is a great full body exercise. We're stabilizing the shoulders. We're activating the core and the glutes. We're using our legs. And you always want to do that on both sides. So practice that a bit, starting maybe with just your mermaid side bending, and then practice from the knee. If you have trouble with your knees, make sure you've got a little padding underneath it. Always think about firing the core first, and as you lift up, you're firing the glutes to open up those hips. So that's the side bend in all its variations. We would love to see you doing your version of it, whichever one feels best for your body. Just go ahead and film yourself a little quick video on your phone, just a few seconds. Upload it to one of our social medias, CoreStarPilates.com, Facebook, or Instagram, with the hashtag RealBodiesDoingPilates. We'll see you next time.